Hey there, B-Siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-Side. This is Danny.
And this is Jim.
And we haven't recorded in a while, actually. They'll come out at the normal time, but we've been working.
Yeah, we're a little late behind our personal schedule for getting this done.
Yeah.
But it'll still be there on Sunday.
Yeah.
So doesn't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, behind the mics, we have been busy.
Yes. Life does that.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
We have survived the Midwestern storms.
So many storms.
Yeah. Yeah, this weather up here, it's like bipolar. It's crazy.
Yeah. You know, anyone wants to talk about global warming, I don't know how they could live here and like try to refute it. Because this
isn't what it's supposed to be.
This isn't my life. This is not what I grew up with and most of my adulthood. I mean, in the last few years, it has just been fucking buck wild.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we had it was like 8 tornado warnings.
Yeah.
That one storm, like 3 of which for us back to back.
It's serious out here in the heartlands.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Oh,
we've been watching lots of films. We watched The Bride.
Yes, not one that we'll do on here,
right?
But very good.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm always a little nervous about retellings and stuff, but I liked everything about this. I liked the time period. I liked what the monster became.
Yeah.
You know, to be in this part, and then what his journey was, and yeah, it banging.
Yeah.
That's on my recommend list.
Right?
Yeah.
And then a little bit of industry news.
Oh yeah.
Which by the time this comes out, it will have been well past it, and we're already kind of well past it. But Mr. Anthony Stewart Head passed away.
Yeah.
You might remember him as Giles from Buffy, or the Repo Man from Repo the Genetic Opera, if you're one of the 30 people in the world who saw that movie. And many, many other things.
Well, most recently, people would know him as Rupert
from
on Ted Lasso.
Mm.
Yeah. So the dude played a gamut of characters. I mean, you know, that's just, you know, a true actor. I mean, that's what a true actor does. They don't just play the good guys. You know, he was as good of a villainous prick in Ted Lasso as he was a naive, guiding, supportive, you know, a watcher, right, in Buffy. And then all the stuff he's done in between. He's been all up and down the thing. And he's did stage and all that stuff.
And he sang like an angel.
And he sang in, was it in Angel?
Like an Angel.
Oh, Like an Angel. I was going to say, that was Buffy.
Yeah, there was the musical episode of Buffy. There were a couple of times they found him in a open mic sort of situation in Buffy. Repo the Genetic Opera is a musical. And he runs the gamut in that, from like the hard rock kind of growly, like to the like lovely singing, you know, the lamenting his dead wife in that movie.
And, you know, Repo the Genetic Opera, I think is for film in terms of his singing talent, I think is like it.
Oh yeah.
Because he was on there, and Sarah Brightman.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That is signing her up and then having other people come on and say, hey, you're going to sing, knowing that she's there. I mean, that's got to be like, oh, come on, man.
That movie.
But it is fucking wild. The movie, we've talked about it so many times. It's, you know, in reference and everything.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out and watch it, because it's great. It's got Paul Sorvino in it. It's got Paris Hilton, and her face falls off, and Alexa Vega from Spy Kids.
Yeah, and people don't realize this about Paul Sorvino. The man can sing.
Oh yeah,
he's a beautiful singer.
He is. He's like an operatic singer.
Yeah, his his singing in Repo the Genetic Opera is not his best, not because of him,
He doesn't
because
have a
of
whole lot of opportunity to.
well, but because of the character,
Yeah.
right, and the way the character talks and the way the character is getting things across. He did beautifully. I mean, don't get me wrong, but yeah, the man had some pipes. Oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
he's one of those actors. When he passed, I thought it was just a shame. So many people, more people, did not know about him. He's always like
Yeah.
the side guy. You know, he's always a gangster dude or a mob dude, right?
He
And
had the look, right?
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, he was a beautiful voice.
Mm-hmm.
Terrence Zadunik,
Zadunik.
Zadunik. I'll never get it right. Um, you know, show the man some love. Check it
Yeah.
out. Rent it or watch it somewhere streaming. Um, you know, it was meant to be. It's a rock opera,
Mm-hmm.
and he took a couple stabs at trying to get these going, and I think the timing just wasn't right. But then again, right, people did not immediately flock to Rocky Horror.
Mm-hmm.
The small groups did. You know, the weird ass people like me and the ones that were older than me at the
Yeah.
time, and that was like the core audience for the longest time. Um, I think Repo the Genetic Opera still there is still a day of bloom coming for that because
Yeah.
it is wild, it's fun. Um, it's very much like Manborg and
It's very grim,
Robotica
dark. Yeah.
Destructiva in that it has a very comic-y feel to it. Not as much. I mean, it's not green screen and all that,
Right.
but there is a lot of like miniature animation
Yeah.
stuff and that, and the cut scenes are illustrated.
Right.
So it's very much like a rock comic
Mm-hmm.
slash opera. But anyway, um,
Anyway.
well, you had mentioned about Anthony Head that he was like your TV dad,
Yeah.
and that's not really a small thing. Because I think in every generation there's that one person. For so many people, Bill Cosby was the TV dad
Sure.
because of the Cosby Show, and this
Yeah.
is before all the fucking terrible shit came out. Um, he was never my anything dad because I was a full adult when that came out. But growing up, I would get his comedy albums. I
Mm.
fucking loved him. I loved listening to his comedy albums. I mean, no matter what he was or ended up being, you just cannot deny how funny he was. And there's a lot of credit I would give to him for getting me through some, you know, not exactly mundane moments in my life when I was little, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could come home, I could throw that on my little fold up record player and just over and over again listen to him with Fat Albert and, you know, the parking in San Francisco and just all this stuff. But a lot of folks, Mike Brady, right? Robert Reed was their TV dad
Yeah.
in the 60s and early 70s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. I'm sure there are more people who felt that way.
Well, yeah. When I found out that he passed away, I had a hard day.
It was yeah,
Um.
a tough day.
But yeah, I grew up watching Buffy,
Mm-hmm.
and Giles. So Buffy didn't have a dad really on the show, right? And Giles kind of stepped into that role.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was going through a hard time, you draw inspiration from your shows that you watch, and
Yeah.
you learn a lot from them. And my kind of go-to was like, what would Giles say in this situation?
Yeah. Well, it's a shame. I mean, when these things happen for most of these folks, you can't deny that they had a spectacular go, right? Good long run at
Oh
life
yeah.
and just a lot of success and, you know, a lot of thanks for being on the receiving end of all of that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And that's just, you know, I think all of us, indie, major, whatever, you know, film level you put yourself at, is we should always be thankful to the folks who inspired us.
Yeah.
The shit that they did and put out over and over and over again, whether it's, you know, directing, editing, producing. I mean, some people just have like a fan base of, or big fan walls of producers, right? But it's mostly actors because they're there, they're the face. They're just doing whatever they're doing, whatever part they grab.
Yeah.
They did it, and we get to enjoy it. And these days, it's over and over and over instantly if you want to, rather than laboring through finding it at a video store on VHS and watching it, and then waiting the 15 minutes for it to rewind. Every time it stops, you're like, oh, I hope they didn't fucking break, because they charged you like $150 fucking dollars if you took it
Which
back
is
broken.
insane.
It's like Blockbuster.
It's crazy.
Oh shit, yeah. But and and thanks to the people who are doing it now, obviously. Don't need to wait for people to pass to, be thankful and just respectful that, you can see them post something, just give a mention. Hey, appreciate the time you've given to entertain me, kind of thing. Industry news, I got one thing. I don't want to get deep into it because we haven't seen it, but Obsession is just
breaking records.
It's breaking records, rocking the world. And when we were playing D&D, I was talking about this. The stories are coming out about, the director's uncle works for Sony Pictures and this and that, blah, 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 blah. And I just got to say, because, Tyler had mentioned, it's so aggravating that when someone does something good, people immediately need to start trying to break them down.
Yeah.
And here's the hint. So indie filmmakers, no, we haven't seen it yet, because going, as listeners, what a bitch it is to go to the theater for us. So we're waiting for it to come out. Our friend did see it, and he's like, whoa. So we'll see it when it hits streaming. But it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter if his mother was the president of Sony Pictures and had every industry connection and had every executive in the world by the short hairs and made this happen. It doesn't fucking matter, right? The thing is, it was made, he thought it up, he wrote it up, and he directed this bitch, right? And this isn't someone who just came from the shadows. He's a YouTuber who, and I have my opinions on all this YouTube shit, but here's the deal. He knew what he was fucking doing because he has a huge following and he's been doing it for a while, right? And you don't get to do that by accident.
Right.
Now, whether he had help or not doing that, who the fuck cares? Because half of YouTube is people with videos on how to do well at YouTube, right? And a lot of them aren't doing well, so it makes me question.
And the other half are Nepo babies.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. People love this film. I'm sure we're going to enjoy it because everything I've heard about it and what I've seen of it, it just hits all of our marks for horror. And it did well because he did what he wanted. He told the story he wanted and made the movie he wanted. And lo and behold, what we've been saying all along, audiences are hungry for the real shit, not this fad fucking crap, right?
Right.
People are comparing this to sitting through a nice 70s horror film. Has the same kinds of beats. And I'm going to go on record right now, and people can argue. If you want to write in and argue, go ahead. We'll have the email address at the end. 1970s was the golden age of horror. Never before and never since will there be anything so fantastic, because almost every single thing from the 70s lives on today. From Jaws, from Leatherface, Exorcist. All of this stuff has trumped everything from the 60s, 50s, 40s, and 30s. We had classic monsters. We had some, cool, decade kind of aware things. It's a 50s movie, you can tell. 60s movie, you can tell.
Right.
But the most iconic shit came out and people have been emulating it ever since, right? And I'm sure Obsession is, and there's nothing fucking wrong with that. I mean, he's not copying a movie.
No.
But the style, if that's when we watch it and I'm like, hell yeah, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. But this is what we've always compared horror movies to, are these core fundamental films
Mm-hmm.
that nobody has like reinvented horror. You can come up with different concepts, you can come up with different things. That's not reinventing. 70s was just wild, unbridled,
Yeah.
right? Jaws. From Jaws, how many shark films? and and how many have tried to be wildly different? How many have tried to be strikingly similar, hoping to find that success track?
Yeah.
Like I said, we got Leatherface. He's still going. I'm pretty sure in the next 2 or 3 years there'll be another fucking Texas Chainsaw something or other. Um, Mike Myers. I don't think we'll ever see the end of him.
Nope.
I don't know how many times they've permanently killed him in the shows or the movies, but he always comes back.
He does, yeah. So does Jason.
And yeah, Jason, but he's 1980.
I know.
But we'll still count him because that there's always like 2 years into the next decade that the old decade's dying off.
Yeah.
So anyway, obviously we're not going to cover Obsession. It's so big and it's a lot going on. But I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit in reference and stuff. But if you've seen it and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen it, go see it.
Yeah.
Or if you're like us and you're waiting, watch it as soon as you can when it comes out. But anyway, I don't think it's cool to try and bring this dude down. He had a success. We should all be celebrating with him. We should be happy for him. We should be celebrating this kind of record-breaking shit from an indie film.
Yeah.
Right? Did something that didn't happen since E.T.
I know.
Where it kept going up and up and up and up. E.T., folks.
Yeah.
If you think I'm like stroking out making weird sounds and you don't know what E.T. is, look it up. Watch it. Okay. That's my big thing on that. Because we have our own movie.
We have a movie to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Why don't you tell us about this movie?
Well, I think I'm going to do that. So this episode's movie is covering Wallace Peebles' Paranormal Inspector. It's from 2025, directed by Stephen Nesbitt, written by Carl Hall and Stephen Nesbitt, starring Stephen Nesbitt, Jennifer Breyer, Michael Flores. TVMA, the reported budget is $2.5 million, and we're gonna have some talk about that. But let me give you this log line here. When a delusional ghost hunter and his inept team head to a haunted New York warehouse, they disturb a terrifying curse on the long-lost Irish crown jewels. There's that. So before we get into this, it's worth noting, because we don't always do this, this is a comedy, horror.
Yes.
Not a horror comedy. And I'm learning the difference between which word comes first in the punctuation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we have a comedy horror.
Mm-hmm.
Want to bring us in?
All right. So I'm going to set the scene a little bit because my notes are not great.
Okay.
So we start out this film. This is done in the vein of paranormal investigation, kind of documentary.
Right. It's formatted. Ghost Hunters is the first thing I always think of.
Right.
Right. So one of the paranormal television shows.
Yeah. So that's our kind of lead in. We have three characters that I'm going to lay out first before I go into this. We have Wallace, who is our main dude, played by Stephen Nesbitt. He's a large dude, bearded, beanie, looking, what's the word I'm looking for? Rough? Gross?
Grizzled.
Grizzled, but not in like a manly way. In like a...
Okay.
Like a spends, all day in the basement playing WoW kind of way.
I mean, there's a certain, yeah, that's a different kind of grizzled.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's two kinds of grizzled.
Yeah. So it's the latter.
It's that, yeah.
Got it.
There is a woman, relatively normal looking. Her name is Poppy. She's blonde.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of bitchy.
Mm-hmm.
She's a skeptic. And then there's the third person who is like their camera person, Chet, who looks mostly like a normal.
Kind of.
Short, dark hair, standard build.
I didn't note this. He has that kind of face, the actor. He looks like 100 other folks I've seen. And not like, oh, it's him in another movie. No, I'm talking like from 30 years back.
He does look like the kind of person who was designed to be a person who shouldn't be noticed.
I mean, yeah. I mean, not trying to be cruel, but I mean, that's 100% that describes it. Yeah. He looked very much like a lot of other actors from other movies from other decades, and it was just kind of hard to like place even just one and be satisfied with it. Like, oh no, it looks like, oh
yeah, medium hair, medium face, medium build, just kind of like right in the middle on it, everything. Yeah, you give his description to a police officer.
I was gonna say a sketch artist's worst nightmare.
Yeah, pretty much. So now that you've met the characters, we're in an episode of their show called The Basement of Doom. And Wallace, big dude, is just doing his like spiel into the camera, and he is just spouting bullshit. I mean, it's just complete, utter bullshit. And it's not even good bullshit. It's like they're in Texas and he's like, and upstairs is where the Salem people died.
So I guess the best way to explain it to me would be he's just making shit up off the cuff.
Yeah.
And not even remotely close to anything.
Nope.
And that's Poppy's job. Nope.
Yeah. So then that's her calling his bullshit. And then we cut to her on her own kind of documentary style, and she's still just calling out his bullshit. And then we go back to the group, and Chet has got this giant sausage he's wiggling around. It does look like a dildo at first.
Yeah.
And that is kind of the point. And then Wallace goes off on him. Apparently Wallace hates Chet. They fight. The sausage is involved. It's weird. And then we get the credits. So they also are doing kind of a podcast.
Right.
As well.
It should be noted, because I didn't catch this straight off, but this is strictly a YouTube type show.
Right.
Yeah. Well, because it seemed like, it could be on Sci-Fi. It could be the way the trailer came out.
Yeah.
When we're watching it, it's like he has his show, but yeah, it's not a network show.
Yeah, this is a self-made production.
It's a Wallace thing.
Yeah. So they're doing this podcast out of Erie, Ohio. And Wallace says it's a vodcast, but he doesn't actually seem to know what he's doing. Like, he thinks the podcast is live or on live TV.
So he's like, let's go to the phones. And she's like, we don't have a phone system. It's not, this isn't how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wasn't registering.
There are a lot of jokes in this movie / scene that are okay if you're not taking notes. But if you are taking notes, they're really just very tired and overthought.
Yeah.
The writing
we'll come to that.
Is so Poppy has a fit at Wallace while he's doing this nonsense and leaves. And then afterwards, Poppy's phone rings because she left it there, and it's Chet, who's making kind of like he's pretending he's a caller calling from a warehouse that's haunted, and Wallace is totally buying it until Chet literally is like, "It's me, Chet." And he's trying to talk Wallace into an actual investigation. And Poppy comes back for her phone, and then Chet pitches to them both this like real deal haunted warehouse someone wants them to investigate and is going to pay them for. Um, so they can both make like a real show and make money. And then when he gets off the phone with them, there is a creepy woman there in the warehouse with him, Chet.
Yeah.
Looking for jewels, and she's going to pay him. And then if he fails, that she's going to kill him.
Yeah.
And she warns him not to go into room 66. It's a very unsettling thing. I don't believe this is the scene wherein she bites him. Maybe it is.
It
might be later.
I think it's later.
But yeah, she's very threatening. And then we see the other two are on their way. Wallace is FaceTiming someone, I guess his uncle Morris.
I just called him old guy or old man.
He is. He is an old man.
Yeah.
Well, he's a person wearing an old man face.
Well, it's Wallace, isn't it? Wearing a mask.
I think
wearing
so.
It's a rubber mask. It's not even like, makeup. It's just a full on mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we learn that Poppy is apparently stuck with Wallace until she finishes some study for her Ivy League school. That's why she's putting up with all this.
Mm-hmm.
And she asks the old guy, Morris, about sponsorship. And he says he'll be looking into some things, but she's responsible for the project. He's putting her in charge. So they keep driving. They finally get to this big brick warehouse. And then they're interviewing a woman named Snow.
Right.
There is one joke that kind of runs continuously throughout the movie, is like when they do the asides.
Yes.
Where they put the name and then like the person's job. But in this, they put like the name and then kind of a commentary, like a snarky commentary.
Right. Or they'll change it while the person's talking.
Yeah.
To something.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Ghost Hunters and other similar shows. The comedic style, think of The Office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this woman Snow is apparently a big fan of Wallace and his Paranormal Inspectre show. And also Morris on the phone is telling them that Snow is the producer for the show somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Chet then tries talking to Snow, who explains to him that she has no experience producing and didn't even know she was the producer until Morris said it just a little while ago. She is paying Morris her life savings and then some to be here.
Right, which would, make her the producer.
I guess, yeah.
Sure.
So Chet kind of seems like maybe she needs something to do, or maybe I can give her something to buy. So he tells her about this like scanner, all these kind of little tech things they have for the show, and admits in an aside that they make things up to appease Wallace.
Yeah, he's like, every episode, Wallace says we need some sort of device. So we whip one up. And then they cut to an old episode where he's using the X-ray machine.
It's a shoebox.
It's a shoebox that has X-ray machine written on it. And Wallace is basically just too fucking stupid to know the difference.
Yeah. So then we have Poppy and Wallace walking the building. Poppy is whining about Snow and people who do things for money, which I was like, you literally said in an aside like earlier that you were doing this for the money.
No, not doing it for the money. That couldn't have waited?
It just came out.
Okay. All right.
You were saying not doing it for the money.
It's not that she was talking about doing it for the money. She's talking about people with money getting in on their thing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Because she's telling him, we're doing the grind. We have the passion and we're doing all this. Yeah. And she's just like buying her way into it.
Yeah.
So that's what she was going on about.
Mm-hmm. They talk about a sponsor who they say is KFC, but not that KFC, the other one, which is apparently Ken's Fancy Cheese.
Ken's Fancy Cheese. Yep, I made a point to write that down.
And Wallace is initially very excited until he learns that it's Ken's Fancy Cheese, and then he's not very.
Well, I mean, yeah, he goes like wild fucking nuts. They're doing like trailers,
Yeah.
right, for the upcoming episode.
Intros.
And he's just going, and then they have to stop him because they're like, no, it's not what you think it is. It's Ken's Fancy Cheese. So the second take is so much less energetic.
It is, yeah. So then we have Morris telling Snow on the phone that she's there to make sure something happens for the show. It can't be nothing happening. So if no paranormal stuff happens, she needs to make it happen. So then they're watching some of the videos. They've set up cameras and some furniture like tips over. And Wallace, the paranormal investigator, immediately gets up, grabs his coat, and says he's going to leave. This place is fucking haunted.
Yeah.
And they convince him to stay, and then they're going through more videos, and they find a sleepwalking Wallace video where he like pees and falls into his pee and then farts.
Yeah, he goes, pees,
puerile.
collapses, and then it's just a lot of farting. And Chet's like, oh, he sleepwalks all the time. So then we cut to Chet, and now he's with that older woman from before. She's talking about buyers and, blah, blah, blah. You better get this going, da, da, da. And this is where she bites him in the arm through his sleeve.
Yeah.
And then she slips away out of sight. When Poppy comes in, and turns out old lady is basically hiding behind Chet or like
between his legs,
something. But anyway, yeah, while he's trying to talk to Poppy, she's like playing with his dick or punching it
or twisting it,
or otherwise messing with him. Poppy eventually leaves. The old lady says she made peanut butter cookies, share them, and if he mentions her to anyone, she'll fucking kill him.
Also, stay out of room 66.
Yes. Stay out of room 66. Which, I mean, right there,
I'm like, it's a warehouse. What rooms? I haven't seen any rooms in this place.
Yeah, I think she mentioned it even earlier.
Yeah.
In the first one. We just didn't, neither one of us jotted it down. So now we have Snow as going up to Wallace, asking if he's hungry, offers to fix him something. And she's trying to like ease her way in to give Wallace some news from talking to the old man. Apparently someone's filing a lawsuit against Wallace because he yelled at some woman at a zoo, and it's this whole big thing.
Yeah.
She's talking, he just sits there and farts. And I stopped here for a moment, and I wrote, I have to say, I am not really into this humor.
No.
I want to save all that to the end.
Okay.
Because I could go on.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so then there's the little bit about them being broke when they were like, this is not for the money, it's for the adventure. And, Poppy's like, oh, it's absolutely for the money. We are flat ass broke.
Right.
That's what part of the trailer that got me, but the rest of it just seems kind of labored as we go on, as Snow is telling him, now that they're basically the same. She lost her parents as well. She had depression, and it's all good now because she watched all of his shows.
So he was like a best friend.
Right? And while she's talking, he's farting.
Yeah.
So then Wallace is talking about his fame. This is in the interview portion, making it difficult to know if people are into him because of his fame. And by people, I guess he means just women.
Yeah.
Or if they are into him for him. And then we cut to Poppy and Snow. We learn Chet is behaving strangely, and that the show doesn't use any fancy machines like scanning machines, because this comes up. And then next thing we know, Chet is been scanning the floor and walls. Poppy or Snow is explaining this to Poppy. He's explaining, or God, he's scanning the floors and walls, and I guess he's looking for this jewelry. And Poppy's like, we don't use fancy machines. And then now she's yelling at Chet because he said he asked Snow to buy the machines.
Right.
And she's like, well, if the show doesn't make any money, we have to pay for that shit. He can't really argue about it because, he got it from the old lady. And then he starts to clumsily introduce the notion that maybe they could also be looking for treasure.
Right.
Kind of a beeline, right? Poppy says it sounds ridiculous, and then we cut to Poppy saying it would save the show, but she doesn't want to be a part of it. in the interview aside. So they have a team meeting. Now Poppy is talking about how they're going to be looking for treasure. Wallace doesn't get it. He is more hooked on whether or not there are actual jewels.
Right. And then Snow gives this lecture about capitalism.
Oh yeah, we get some capitalism explanation, and it's just a long scene. A lot for me, a lot of the jokes were just as soon as they were birthed, they just fell to the floor dead. So now we're back to the whole filming bit. Fucking Wallace. He's talking about an Irish whore. At some point it's revealed to him that he's supposed to be talking about the Irish hoard.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Irish crown jewels. Okay. So Wallace says the warehouse is not just the resting place of the jewels, but also the bastard who stole them.
Okay.
I mean, okay.
Sure.
So he's talking and farting again. Suddenly Chet is in the shot asking if Wallace wants noodles. Wallace starts to lose his shit. And this is why he choked Chet with the big sausage earlier, screaming, he's always ruining my fucking shot. He's always ruining my fucking shot. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. So now Snow comes in saying they all need to go see something. And she takes him somewhere to look at absolutely nothing, but evidently it's a ruse to calm Wallace. And then we learn that she is a psychiatric nurse, and this is one of the techniques. Okay. So there's some more scene fuck ups, and then now everyone is sleeping except Chet.
Yeah. Did you get the bat bit?
I did not.
Okay. So they do, right after that, they find a bat that's been somehow stabbed into a brick wall with a knife.
Yeah, I didn't note it.
Anyway.
I was busy doing other things.
I get it.
Okay. So Chet is in his room looking at some stuff on his phone. Shadow moves past the door. Another. In comes Nosferatu.
That's right.
Yep. And then there's this dream, it seemed he was having, of a ghost rat.
Yeah, it's like the Dollar Tree version of Remy the rat from Ratatouille.
Yeah. Speaking a particularly offensive Irish accent.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the point where I kind of partially checked out, because I'm sorry, being Irish, having had an accent, having to go through all that to get rid of it. I would have throat punched everybody involved with that choice. This was ridiculously offensive. And to compound it, we have someone with this ridiculous Irish accent, and then we have subtitles that don't even match what the person's or whatever the rat's saying. So I was a little done with that. So anyway, they want the fucking jewels, and the jewels belong to the devil, and then they want Chet's soul after. And then we see Chet after this whole fiasco, sitting at a computer doing some editing. Wallace shows up with the old woman who is calling herself Marjorie, but her actual name is Ethel.
Yeah.
And she brought cookies, and they tell Marjorie that they're having a seance. They gab, maybe she should come. And she's like, no. And then she lets slip about the treasure. tries to cover it and warns them not to go into room 66. So this is the third or fourth mention, so we know what's coming. Wallace is not happy about having to be by himself for the seance. Poppy and he argue. Somehow they're now talking about making embellishments in older episodes. And this was like heart stabs for Snow.
Right.
Because she's one of those that's not just a fan of Wallace, but she bought all this shit hook, line, and sinker. Right? So she is not happy about their making things happen. Because how can you have a show where nothing happens week after week after week after week? Right?
Right.
Chet figures out that it was Snow manipulating the furniture from earlier. And it made it sound like she's also behind the ghost rat and Nosferatu.
Right.
I thought maybe I misheard that as we got later on, but that's exactly how I heard it. Because he's like, "Oh, and the rat." She's like, "Yeah, yeah." Like, how do you fucking pull off? I mean, a holographic projection.
Oh, she didn't admit to that though.
But she was just going, "Yeah, yeah." That's why I'm saying it seemed like in this part they were billing it as her. So I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." So her money, it turns out, her life savings investment in the show is $342.
Yeah.
That's it. Everybody had a soul dump right there.
Yeah.
You know, you could just see it on their faces, like, because they were told we got money, someone's getting, you know, they thought she's like 342 and like 1,000. She's like, oh no,
dollars. Yeah.
So we cut to the night. Wallace is farting while he's alone. And then it starts to begin. When his eyes are closed, something wisps in front of the camera. He's scared. And then we have a vampire shadow on the opposite wall. He is freaking out. Then Chet tells him to turn the camera around because we find out Chet fucked up and forgot to charge the batteries for all the cameras. So they only got two, and they're both facing Wallace.
Right.
So he's making all these reaction shots, and they're trying to get him to turn one of the cameras around to capture any of what he's seeing. And then suddenly they can't get a hold of Wallace, so they all go in. They find him on the floor, unconscious. They try to save him. Chet eats a banana.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a bunch of shit like that for what felt like a quarter of the length of the movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of like chewing up screen.
Yeah, and then we cut to them talking to Wallace. Now, I've got one paragraph left.
Okay.
What do you have?
I've got like 3/4 of a page. You want me to take over from here?
3/4 of a page left to go?
Yeah.
Wow. Sure. Because, yeah, I checked out to the point where I summed up the entire ending of the movie. 5 quick sentences.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Speed run. Ready?
Go.
Wallace is telling them he saw something diabolical, and then he peed himself and passed out. Yeah. Snow, wanting to make him feel better, I guess, says that she pees herself sometimes too. I don't know.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Poppy's blaming Chet for the poor camera angles. There's a toupee gag in here.
Mm-hmm.
Then they set out Chet on what they call a bitch run. And the old lady intercepts him and threatens him again, saying he should tell them the treasure is real.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really get her game, but sure. And then later Chet's in his room calling for the mouse. And Chet wants to gamble away everyone else's souls in exchange for his. And the mouse tells him, Satan's real picky. If you get a darker soul, it's a higher value. So give me some more chocolate. And then if you give me a worse soul, then yours is fine. And then Wallace is sleepwalk bothering Chet and trying to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
Chet talks him out of it. Snow is watching a sleepwalk video of Wallace doing a hobby horse routine.
Mm-hmm.
And then he peed and lay down in it. All these jokes are
Yeah.
so repetitive. It's like the same joke over and over and over again.
Yeah, I've got a thing for that at the end.
So then Snow took him to bed and locked his door. Chet continues to look for treasure. Poppy walks in on him while he's looking for treasure, and then they're talking about Snow accidentally putting Wallace into a K-hole. And this is genuinely like the one funny joke in
I was
the
going to
movie.
say,
The rest are garbage.
Let's pause here for a second. Slow it down. Because yeah, you're 100% right. This was the single most genuine moment of humor. It was actually funny, and it was a deep aside from the way it's been going.
Mm-hmm.
And the actor who plays Snow is fucking fantastic, and she sold this shit. It was the first time in the whole thing that both of us were laughing quite loudly.
Yeah.
And then Lily, who had left the room, came back to say goodnight because she was going to go to bed. We had just watched it. We're laughing. So we went back and showed it to her from the beginning, and she busted out.
Mm-hmm.
Because this woman sold this thing 150%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, Snow goes up to Chet later asking if he's eaten. This whole conversation has no point. And then Chet finds the jewels in a little plastic chest, at which point Ethel comes up immediately behind him and pulls a knife. She kills a mouse and then says she's going to kill them all and take all the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then Poppy comes in and saves Chet, and she shoves Ethel into this room. So Chet comes in on an interview shot and he goes, well, you have to see what happened earlier, or none of this is going to make any sense. So we do a heist style flashback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, after the bitch run. We're changing the past of this film. They're all sitting around. Snow is offering to sleep in Wallace's room to keep him company. So those two go off, and then Chet approaches Poppy to tell her about the mouse and the Nosferatu and the soul deal and everything else. And Poppy slaps him, doesn't believe him. He tries to persuade her. It eventually works, and then they decide to keep it from Wallace. And then Poppy asks about room 66. So they go in there, and it's all these like camera monitors.
Yeah, Marjorie /
security
Ethel
setup
is monitoring everything anyway. I don't know.
So back to the present, they all freak out. Snow's offering to call the police. The jewels were fake. It was a trap for her. And then Wallace comes by, sleepwalking and still baked on ketamine. And he does this whole show spiel, and they opened the door to Ethel, who's being eaten by the Nosferatu thing. And she keeps screaming for like ever.
Yeah.
Chet sets up a camera, and then the mouse comes up and calls him a racist for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
So he's accepted the deal. This Ethel person is worse than Chet is, so he's gonna take her soul. So then he says Chet should open the door where Ethel died, eaten by the Nosferatu. He opens it up, and there's jewels. And then Wallace comes up with the girl, and they all happy ending. They can get the footage from room 66.
Yeah, they took the footage from that room. They made a show with that and their other stuff. And then at the end, they all go their separate ways.
Yeah, it's one painfully long joke at the end, and then it's finally over.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did. Now, I have some things I would like to talk about this here film.
I'm sure you would.
So why don't we do that?
Feed me your thoughts.
I will happily do that. Okay. So I've been thinking about this all day and last night. Let's talk about the budget first.
Okay.
$2.5 million.
Yeah. Way too much.
I don't know where that money went.
No. Because
it's good production level. I mean, clearly.
It is.
Right? So maybe that went to paying the, like B movie, almost A movie level crew.
Right.
There's maybe hundreds of people, maybe.
I mean, that said estimated. There was another article that said 250,000, but it was like the 2.5 million was on the IMDb Pro info.
Okay. Well, it is what it is. But here's the thing. the the quality level of this movie is good.
Yes.
All right, can't argue that.
Technically,
not anything to complain about. Everything, you could hear it, you could see it, you could,
Well, I want to go into that for just a second.
Sure.
And then I'll give you free rein here.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing: the technical aspects of this movie, fine lighting, sound, the acting was decent given what they had, but nothing about it was like awe-inspiring.
No, it was
pretty standard fare.
It was just a flat line. The only blip was the whole thing with Snow.
Yeah.
The interview bit of her saying, I didn't give him ketamine. It was valerian root. And then it goes out, I'm pretty sure it was valerian root. And just her expressions.
Yeah.
Her performance was so good in all of it. She had the best comedic reactions to things, right? And when she was delivering stuff, it was good. But other than that, yeah, it was just like, which I'll get into in a bit.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my thing that I wanted to say, is it was very mid-line. There's nothing like exceptionally creative about it. It's all been done before.
Money does not make a good movie.
Right.
I guess that's the lesson from this one. We've talked about it before. If Cliff and Marty had $2.5 million, I mean, Cliff's, like I've said it several times, Cliff's like, I wouldn't know what to do with $50,000 for a budget. Give them $2.5 million, but they would go fucking wild, right? But see, they make good movies with next to nothing. If you give someone more money and they have the skill and ability to make good films, then yeah, it's gonna like bam, break free all the shit. That
ideally, yes.
Yeah, right. Now, it's not a bad movie. I want to say that because I will never see it again.
No.
And 3/4 of the way through, I'm like, well, we're just gonna, because we do this, we pick things that are like, and that's what the show is about. Someone's gonna like this. For me, the humor was not my kind of humor at all.
It was. So Lily, our daughter, watched part of this movie with us, and she described it as British humor trying to emulate American humor.
Kind of. Here's what I thought of it as. 90 solid minutes of Benny Hill.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so I hope at least one person knows who the fuck Benny Hill is listening to this. Okay, Benny Hill, king of comedy in Britain back in the 70s. And I grew up watching his shit on reruns. But there's a reason it was a half an hour comedy show, which is 20 to 22 minutes in length.
There's a reason Monty Python skits are as short as they are.
Yes. This was non-fucking stop. And I'm just going to say this for any kind of comedy, no matter what the type of humor is, pacing. That's my biggest bitch about this. Zero pacing. Every fucking line was a joke.
Yeah.
Every 5 seconds was a bit.
Yeah.
A bit within a larger bit that didn't need to be a larger bit.
And wasn't really that funny.
Well, no, we don't like this kind of humor. It's puerile. It's American Pie humor. I didn't care. I've seen American Pie once, and I don't even like fucking talking about it because none of it was funny to me. None of it. The old National Lampoon shit, right? Clark Griswold, National Lampoon's Vacation. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. National Lampoon's Animal House, not as good. Even though it came first, not as good. I know everyone's like, oh, it's Belushi and all this and that. I saw it once. I've never watched it again. I mean, I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
I snuck in, and so with that, a lot of my bleh about this is just I didn't care for the humor. But the thing that did piss me off is the Irish accent bit.
Yeah, the mouse with the Irish accent,
Okay.
and then the subtitles that didn't match.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you folks, be fucking careful when you do this shit, because to me, that was blackface. That's exactly how it hit me. When I see someone doing blackface, it hits me the same way. And I'm not a person of color, but I can guarantee you I'm at least 80% there in the outrage and just consider it vile and shit as someone who has a justifiable right to go, fuck no. That did not just happen, right? And I'm not going to go on a big thing like lay off the Irish or whatever, because people are going to do it. But be careful, because that was extremely offensive. And it did. It shut me out the whole rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So that's why my shit is not, my notes are not great. And I can't talk about this as favorably as I want to, because anyone who makes a film like this or is involved in a film like this is like, oh, I'm just getting paid. No. You knew the fucking script.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said, oh, that's okay. There's something wrong with you. If you can't approach humor without basically pulling shit like that, then do not.
Right.
Don't do it. If you're working with somebody and this is the way they go, be a stand-up kind of person and say, Fred, this is really fucking awful. This isn't funny. It's racist. It's misogynistic. It's this, that, or puerile, whatever. I mean, past the point of it's 12-year-old humor. I can't think of the last movie I saw where the adult lead actor farted more than 50 times.
I know.
During the course of the movie.
And we like some puerile humor, like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and the earlier South Park stuff. And
there's a difference between puerile and just like intentionally
gross.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and gross. And again, some people might think what we like is shit, and that's fine. I'm just saying, be careful. I don't think this has a huge audience in terms of comedy fans, because yeah. I have never.
The reviews for this on IMDb are not great.
I can't imagine why. They wouldn't be great. Yeah. The accent thing threw me off. The adding the subtitles that were, inaccurate and kind of being like trying to be their own thing. Not cool. Not cool. But I'm going to get off of that and just talk about the rest of it. It was like watching Benny Hill non-fucking stop. Folks, you need to pace your shit. Funny stuff happens. Funny stuff happens when there's an inciting situation, which is the setup, then there's the execution, and then there's the fallout. That's comedy.
Yeah.
Right?
But the thing is, your characters and the story itself cannot be the joke.
No. They can make jokes. They can be part of a uniform joke, but it can't go from second one of the movie until the last credit. That's terrible. And this was. Everything they were trying to hit on a joke. Some of the supers on the bottom when they were doing the interview segments, some of it was I don't want to say funny. Humorous. It was amusing.
Yeah, some of them were amusing.
Yeah, but it did make me go, Snow did.
Just that one bit.
That actor, I hope she ends up in a lot of stuff, because she is really, really good. This whole thing was a fucking labor, but I didn't regret seeing her on screen at one point at all. And the best part in her favor is they had her the straight man.
Right.
Which spared her from some of this ridiculous fucking dialogue.
Right.
Right. And for the most part in the film, she did the best she could with what she was in.
Yeah.
Right. But we've talked about pacing before. Robotica Destructiva. Well, I was thinking about, they do call them Destructivas.
Well, in the film, yeah.
Yeah, but Destructiva. Pacing was a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like action. You got to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to put the brakes on. Give us a moment. Enough time to change the radio station.
Same with Doll Shark.
But no, Doll Shark, no, the only pacing that they needed to do for that was to not have it at all.
Pick it up.
Zero. um, they're just a comedy is best when there's at least moments that you can take seriously.
Yeah.
And this was, it's like they tried to mock everything, and not in a, I'm making a mockumentary or I'm, mocking this or that kind of thing. No, it's like every word is just, I don't know. It wasn't,
It hit wrong.
it hit way wrong. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
To me.
No, I agree 100%.
But again, there could be a cult following out there of people who dig this shit, but I just, maybe I've been alive too long where a grown man farting every 20 seconds through a whole fucking movie is just like too much,
I mean,
and I'm not going to lie. There are films where a fart, priceless comedy.
Slow Horses.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a comedy.
No, it's not meant to be a comedy.
But see, you can do things like that. And if you do shit right, that's the whole key to everything. If you do something right, it works and people, get into it. When you don't, you get this.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest problem is the comedy selection was terrible and the pacing, there was no pacing.
I know. It was just like, this is happening. Now this is happening. Now this is happening. Now this is happening. And it was all too much.
Well, every line is a joke. And in something like this, there should have been some kind of tension.
There was not.
Right? That's what I mean. It was baseline.
Yeah.
It was just a baseline. And there was no like excitement. There was no like down. There was no up. There was no fast. There was no slow. It was just a relentless assault of the senses. Of this, just like I said, every line was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah. And
it wasn't funny and it didn't work. And yeah. So on that, I want to go back to the very beginning.
Okay.
When, what's his name? Morris?
The old guy?
The old guy?
Yeah.
Again, pacing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes pacing is done with the writing, not the directing. When you're writing something and it's in the beginning and you're basically laying out the plot points, pace it. More than a word, more than a sentence, right? He was going on about shit and blathering about stuff. Then I realized, oh, fuck, he's laying out the movie.
Right. But in between all of that, he's making piss jokes and talking about how much he hates Wallace and like to the point where you tune out.
Well, that's just it. I think I'd written
so many jokes that like you tune out.
He's telling us what this movie is going to be about and what, getting set up to why these people are there. But none of this is fucking traceable. I can't trace one thing he said to the next from the next forwards or backwards because it's almost like random bullshit and just constant blathering. And even when you're like,
when you want to pay attention.
Yeah. Well, if I were, here's the scene, I'm talking to you, I'm going to send you to go investigate this murder. Okay. That could be in a comedy, a drama, a horror, anything.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Now, the wrong thing to do though, when you're laying this out, is try to make it a joke.
I know.
But there's no punchline. There's no setup. There's no nothing.
No.
It's just this long dive. It's verbal farting is what it is. If it's not blowing out their ass, it's blowing out their mouth. Just nonstop sound. It's almost like listening to someone doing a monologue with just a baseline monotone voice. No level of excitement, no sorrow, no nothing, not even punctuation, no pausing, just going. I have to listen to this to edit, and that's going to drive me nuts.
Right.
All right. That was way too long. Folks, please break shit up. Storytelling. That's what writing is. That's what movies are. Storytelling. Yes, it's a visual medium. And I think people get lost in that. And I've been seeing a lot of shit about, the whole thing, show, don't tell. Okay. Well, in a visual medium, you can tell the story. But what I've been finding a lot of crap we've been watching that we're not doing for the show, that we're just like stumbling on for like background or something. Like, oh, this is fucking terrible. Because not only is there no like pacing in the writing, but visually there's no
continuity.
there's no nothing. There's no pacing. The visuals, and they're also not telling the story with the visuals.
Oh, I know.
Okay, a camera is just not to capture an image; it's to tell the fucking story. And we've talked a lot about some great movies that have no dialogue
Right.
in them because someone knows how to tell a story visually with the camera.
Yeah.
Right. And then everyone involved with it also knows what is going on. And they've done like Quest for Fire is a perfect fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
They invented an ancient Neanderthal language for the film and Cro-Magnon. And they actually had linguists come up with it based on,
mm-hmm.
evolution of language. But there's no subtitles. None. That whole fucking thing is storytelling visually. And there isn't any part in that movie where you're like, huh? You know what they're feeling. You know what their intentions are. You don't know the words that they're saying, but from the expressions, the actions, the motions, the camera angles, and the shots, you know exactly what they're saying in any moment.
Yeah.
This, I didn't know where the fuck we're going with any of this.
I mean, I understand telenovelas better than I understood what was going on in this movie.
Absolutely. And
I don't speak Spanish.
No, but the thing about them that's wonderful is they are on point.
That's true.
Like too on point, but that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, we've had stuff in the back. Remember when we could only get like Hulu in Spanish?
Yeah.
For some reason. So we had shit, and yeah, we had all the telenovela programming, and it just like I called and tried to get a hold of support, and they're like, we don't know what's going on. I'm like, okay, but I have all Spanish shows. It's not that everything's like subtitled or dubbed in Spanish. It's just all Spanish, and there's no English alternative either. So
right.
But yeah, we'd have them on in the background, and you're like, oh, he's pissed at her, and I can tell he's right over there. I don't even know the story.
Right.
But that's the point.
I'll bet that's the point. The baby daddy. Right?
Yep. If you've got a camera and you're going to hit record and point it at something, whatever you're pointing it at better be telling the fucking story.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is actually primary for a film. And that can make up for bad writing sometimes.
It can.
Right? Good writing can't make up for bad cinematography, bad direction, bad anything. We've seen some good stuff go south for that. I mean, that's effectively it for the lessons. Is technically brilliant, not like woo, but it's solid.
Technically adequate.
Yeah, well, it's solid. Yeah. If it's a $2.5 million budget, a lot of people got paid a lot of money
for not doing a very good job.
Right. If it was $250,000, a lot of people got paid a lot of money
for not doing a very good job.
So,
yeah. Well.
Yeah, I always hate when we have to leave on that mark.
Well, we don't, because do you know what?
What?
We have other episodes of the show where we talk about shows that we like and films that we love and other subjects that we love. And you can find those at our website.
lordsofmisruleproductions.com.
It's all there and it's great.
And it was recently updated.
Yeah.
I put some stuff on there. We've talked about before in the last episode.
Yeah. Hot off the presses.
Danny's book Spiral.
Yeah.
We were.
Oh, you can find me on Goodreads. Just look up Danny's book Spiral on Goodreads, and you can find me on there and friend me if you're on there.
Nice. So we will have the YouTube channel up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Got some lights and stuff, and we got to do another sound test and do the lighting test.
Yeah.
And then we're going to start rocking some episodes. So yeah, I just haven't created the channel because it actually works against you
to create it and then not have
and then have it sit without like an immediate post. And I'm not going to, I mean, we don't have anything yet, even like a trailer.
I know.
So,
I got my new chair for recording. And
oh yeah. As I say, you're sitting in the same. Oh yeah, that's right. For the video.
Not the podcast chair. The book review vlog chair.
Yeah. It's a cool chair.
It is a cool chair.
I mean, it's not anything I would ever, because I don't like the feet things.
I love it.
But, it looks quite nice. And I know you've been enjoying it.
I have. It's comfy.
I see you out of the corner of my eye moving like all the time.
Yeah.
Shifting. And yeah. So.
Something I can move around in.
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah.
So anyway, the website was updated with that coming and some couple updates on other things. And on there is our email address to get a hold of us, info@lordsofmistworldproductions.com. There's also a link to, and I didn't take it down, and I should. I did close down the Bravo for the B-Side Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
And the page is still up, but I suspended billing. Because we're going to close it down because with the book spiral and other things coming, I'm not going to have a Patreon for each and every one.
Yeah, that's dumb.
So our only Patreon is going to be the Lords of Mistworld Productions.
Mm-hmm.
Patreon has its page. The link is on there. And if you click on Bravo Patreon, it's going to just take you to the latest update, which is, hey, we're shutting this down. Please go check out our other one. We will keep the channel live, just like BF McGillicuddy will still always be up there on YouTube. We're doing the podcast, so those will keep showing up as video audio episodes. I still don't get it, but whatever.
Audio.
People go there, so
audio.
Yeah.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. Whatever platform you're listening on.
Mm-hmm. And hey, if you're passing by a Patreon, maybe subscribe.
Yeah,
join.
I mean, if you find yourself driving out on the street of the internet and you happen upon Patreon, stop in.
Yeah, lordsofmistworldproductions.com. Oh, not .com, just Lords of Mistworld Productions. It's just automatic. Comes out automatically. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's $5 a month, and we get a large enough crowd. Well, I got to think of new stuff for Lords of Mistworld now. Maybe I'll come up with some tasty bits, a little bit of this, a little bit of the book reviews, and whatnots. So anyway, do that and check out all the people that we have linked on those channels. Check out their stuff. Give them some love.
Yeah.
Go comment, give a thumbs up for stuff. Everyone's doing their thing. It doesn't take much to be supportive in at least giving them likes and views and shares. Cost you nothing. And I know you support one, then you support two, and then by the time you get to 10, 15, that's a lot of money a month.
Then you're broke.
And we don't want that.
Yeah. So I mean, other ways that you can interact with the show is to email us. If you work in film, if you're a director, writer, producer, caterer, actor, whatever, PA, who cares?
Yeah.
Email us and tell us about something you're working on. We do have to be able to watch the movie, but we could also just talk to you about your job. That's always fun.
Well, I mean, too. You don't have to have a body of work to bring to the show that we're going to review and talk about. I would love to hear from some makeup artists.
Oh, sure.
Because it's not something we talk about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And usually
costuming.
Costuming, yes, that too. But a lot of times when we mention makeup, it's effects makeup. And I can't think of any even indie production where somebody isn't putting foundation or blush on somebody, right?
Yeah.
For the camera. So, every little thing that happens on a film set is an essential part of getting that thing done. For indies, it could be 3 people, it could be 30 people. For B-movie level or high-end indies, we're talking 100 or more, right? If you're one of those people and get like a crew of 700 for pre and post and everything in between, God bless you for striking that nugget.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what things come together to make this whole thing work.
Mm-hmm.
And, while you're doing your own stuff, give a nod to Obsession, give a nod to things that you've seen recently and have enjoyed.
Yeah.
Almost everyone that you find on Tubi has something somewhere on some kind of social media.
Set up a movie night with your friends.
Yeah, do watch parties. I mean, it's so easy to do now.
Yeah.
Because like Disney has it, and you can do them on FaceTime. And we did the one with David for Redwood Massacre, Annihilation, and you could have watch parties across the country, across the fucking globe.
Yeah.
Right? Do it. Let's start getting back into not just enjoying this stuff, the filmmaking, the film watching, these kinds of movies. But let's get amped up about it, folks, because we are still at the beginning of that upward curve where this is going to launch. We have not even come close yet to the golden age of indie film and B movies. But we're getting there because one by one, people are showing you can absolutely fucking exist without the Hollywood system.
Mm-hmm.
They're irrelevant, actually.
Yeah.
That whole thing, all of that could go away. And maybe 20 people in LA will stand up and be like, well, yeah, I didn't need all that bullshit. I know how to make a fucking movie. And they can wrangle it, right?
Yeah.
Without all the nonsense. So.
On that much happier note.
Yeah.
After talking about that crazy movie.
Okay.
We'll talk about we're talking about the upcoming golden age.
Yes.
Of indie films that I'm very excited to see.
And same here. So make your stuff, folks. Be part of that golden age as well as celebrating it. And that's where we'll leave it for this week.
Yeah.
So until next time.
This is Danny.
And this is Jim.
We'll catch you later.
Bye, B-Siders.